The Premier League has always been known as the most competitive league in the world, but next season, it's going to reach a level we've never seen before. The days of one team running away with the title are over. Last season alone, the top 7 teams were separated by just 9 points. 9 points. That's the difference between Champions and Europa League. It's not just a league now, it's a battlefield. And with elite managers like Pep Guardiola, Mikel Arteta, Enzo Maresca, and now Arne Slot all preparing for war, the Premier League 2025-26 campaign is shaping up to be one of the most unpredictable seasons in history. Every game will count, and no team can afford to drop focus for even one match day. It's going to be chaotic, beautiful, glorious chaos. Let's start with the champions, Liverpool. What Arne Slot has done in just one season is simply remarkable. Taking over from Jurgen Klopp was always going to be an enormous challenge. Klopp wasn't just a manager, he was the identity of the club. But Slot didn't just survive, he thrived. In his first season, he brought in a new system that still retained Liverpool's pressing DNA, but added a more fluid positional approach. Using a 4-3-3 structure in possession, he relied on Trent and Robertson to create width, while Mac Allister and Szoboszlai operated in the half spaces. Salah once again delivered an outrageous season with 29 goals and 18 assists, totaling 47 goal contributions, the most in a single league season in Liverpool's history. Virgil van Dijk was the leader at the back, organizing the defense and mentoring the younger players. His presence was irreplaceable, especially in tight moments down the stretch. And then there's the squad. Liverpool didn't rest after the title. They're building a dynasty.
But we kick things off with news that we've discussed a lot over the last few weeks, but it was made official by Liverpool Football Club today that Florian Wirtz is the latest addition to the squad, and he becomes the most expensive transfer in Premier League history, 116 million euros to make that switch from Bayer Leverkusen to Liverpool.
They broke the bank for Florian Wirtz, a magician in the final third, and added electric fullbacks like Jeremy Frimpong and Milos Kerkez. But they're not done yet. Reports say they're preparing a massive offer for Newcastle's Alexander Isak, who could become the missing piece in the Liverpool front line alongside Salah. If that deal goes through, Liverpool would arguably have the most lethal attack in Europe. A front three of Salah, Isak, and Diaz, supported by Wirtz and Szoboszlai in midfield, is terrifying for any defense. Even without Isak, Liverpool's depth is frightening. Gakpo, Elliott, Gravenberch, Konate, Mac Allister, and the highly rated Quansah provide strength in every position. Slot hasn't just adapted to the Premier League, he's taken control of it. But defending the title will be an even bigger challenge. Now to Arsenal. For the past 3 years, Arsenal have finished second. They've been knocking on the door, inching closer each time, but haven't found that final push to get over the line. Mikel Arteta knows this is the moment to go all in. This summer, they've signed Martin Zubimendi from Real Sociedad, a press-resistant, intelligent midfielder. The midfield now has balance, aggression, and composure. But the big news is the pursuit of Victor Gyökeres.
Arsenal have been doing bits as well. They have signed Martin Zubimendi from Real Sociedad. That news is official, and it looks as though they are very close to getting Victor Gyökeres from Sporting as well. As we know, one of their main priorities this summer has been bringing in a striker, and it looks as though Gyökeres could be that man. Jules, what more can you tell us about this deal?
The Swedish striker had a monstrous season with Sporting CP, scoring 54 goals in all competitions. Arsenal are close to finalizing the deal, and if completed, Gyökeres will provide the lethal finishing that has arguably been missing from their attack. He's strong, quick, and thrives on through balls. A perfect fit for Arteta's high possession, quick transition system. With Saka and Martinelli feeding him, and Ødegaard pulling the strings, Gyökeres could compete with Haaland, Salah, and potentially Isak for the Golden Boot. There's also a wild card, Rodrigo. If his relationship with Real Madrid starts to deteriorate under new manager Xabi Alonso, Arsenal might make a shock move. Adding a player of Rodrigo's flair and Champions League pedigree would elevate their ceiling even further. Defensively, Saliba continues to be a rock, while Gabriel offers flexibility. Raya has cemented himself as the starting keeper, and Timber's return adds more depth in the backline. Arsenal's depth is serious. Ben White, Calafiori, Ethan Nwaneri, Lewis Skelly all offer quality rotation. This team has been building for years. Now they're ready to break the cycle of second-place heartbreak and become champions. If you're enjoying this breakdown and want more deep dives on football's biggest stories, take a second to hit that subscribe button. It really helps the channel, and we've got plenty more coming your way this season. Chelsea, meanwhile, have quietly turned into one of the most dangerous teams in Europe under Enzo Maresca. Last season, they finished 4th in the league, won the UEFA Conference League, and are now into the semi-finals of the Club World Cup. That's an impressive haul for a team that was in disarray just a season ago. Maresca has implemented a dynamic style that involves rotating starting 11s almost every week. There is no set 11 at Chelsea, that's by design. With a squad this large and this versatile, rotation keeps players fresh and opponents guessing.
Right, let's talk about one of your former clubs, Chelsea, shall we, Cass?
Yeah.
They've been very busy this summer, as we're all aware, and with it being involved in the Club World Cup as well, they could very well reach the final. Everything going well, they hope, as they take on Fluminense in the semi-finals. They've made signings such as Liam Delap, João Pedro, and more recently, Jamie Gittins from Borussia Dortmund for around £50 million. So what should the expectations be going into this new season before?
Cole Palmer has been the star in midfield, with Enzo Fernandez pulling the strings beside him. The signing of João Pedro from Brighton adds more movement and creativity up front, while Liam Delap, joined from Ipswich, offers a physical presence and pressing threat. Jamie Bino Gittins from Dortmund brings flair and explosiveness out wide. This are one of the most crucial signings they made this season. Chelsea's defensive structure has also improved. Cucurella and Reece James are the engines of their backline, providing both defensive solidity and attacking width. Maresca's biggest advantage is the size and variety of his squad. He can switch between formations and styles depending on the opponent. If they can become more consistent defensively, Chelsea could easily mount a serious title charge. Their ability to compete on multiple fronts, Premier League, Club World Cup, and Champions League, makes them a scary proposition for anyone. Then there's Manchester City, the money club, the dominant force of the last decade. We've already done a deep dive video on City's transformation post-De Bruyne, which you can check out through the link below. But here's the quick summary. After a challenging season that saw them drop to 3rd, City went out and reinforced smartly. They brought in Cherki to add flair, Rayan Ait-Nouri to solve the left-back conundrum, and Tijani Reinders to bring energy and progression to the midfield. With Kevin De Bruyne gone, Pep Guardiola is reinventing the team. Rodri, now recovered from his ACL injury, is the key to everything. Before his injury, he was leading Europe in sequences starting with him that led to shots. His absence last season coincided with City's worst losing streak in years. Pep will likely shift into a 3-2-4-1 again, with Reinders and Rodri occupying central spaces and Cherki operating in a free role behind Haaland. Omar Marmoush adds another dimension to their attack, giving City a 1-2 punch in the final third. The goals won't be a problem, but the defense must be sharper. If City find their defensive rhythm, they'll be title favorites again.
If somebody said, get Ait-Nouri in, because he's rock solid defensively.
You'd have to question that though, because what he did in this game, not only what we just saw, but he was at fault for the first goal. It all started with him trying to get in front of Malcolm on the halfway line to win a ball that he didn't need to. All he had to do is hold him up. You know, defending's not about winning the ball all the time. In fact, most of the time it's not. It's about affecting the play. It's about holding up the attacker till we get other people around you, and then the attacker has to go somewhere else.
This team knows how to win. They're serial winners. But this season, they won't just be fighting for the Premier League. They'll be chasing the Champions League as well. The pressure is immense, but Pep thrives under pressure. Outside the traditional top 4, we've seen serious disruption. Aston Villa, under Unai Emery, were just 1 point away from Champions League qualification. They finished 6th, equal on points with Newcastle, but edged out on goal difference. Villa's tactical structure is rock solid, a narrow 4-4-2 that transitions vertically and punishes space. Emery has built a side that's compact, aggressive, and incredibly difficult to break down. They've also managed their finances well, selling off assets to balance the books while still keeping a strong core. Villa will again be a thorn in the side of every title contender. Newcastle, on the other hand, continued to punch above their weight. Eddie Howe's team finished 5th, won the Carabao Cup, and consistently challenged the top clubs. Their home form at St. James Park remains one of the best in the league. Nottingham Forest were arguably the surprise package of the year. For half the season, they sat in the top 4 and ended up finishing 7th, their best finish in decades. They have the talent and tactical identity to cause problems for any team. Chris Wood rolled back the years with 20 goals, and the whole team defended like warriors. And finally, Manchester United, the sleeping giant. Last season was an utter disaster, but now there's hope. Ruben Amorim is in charge, and a rebuild is underway. United have already signed Matthias Cunha for £62.5 million and are chasing Brentford's Bruyne for a similar fee. Amorim will likely bring in his signature 3-4-3 structure, pressing high and demanding fluidity in attack. Many underperforming players will leave, and the squad will be reshaped. It won't be an instant success, but it's a project worth watching. But amid all the excitement, transfers, and rivalries, football was hit with tragedy.
We've had confirmation from authorities in Spain that the Liverpool striker Diogo Jota died in a car crash at the age of 28 in the early hours of this morning. He was with his brother in the car, André Silva, who also died.
On July 3rd, Liverpool's Diogo Jota and his younger brother André Silva died in a car accident. It shook the footballing world. Jota, just 28, was a father of 3, a devoted husband, and a player loved by teammates and fans alike. His time at Liverpool was short but unforgettable. 65 goals in 182 matches, 4 trophies, countless moments of brilliance. Klopp called him the heartbeat of big games. Virgil van Dijk said they'd support his family forever. Liverpool will retire the number 20 shirt for the season, and every Premier League stadium will observe a minute's applause on matchday 1. Jota will be remembered not just as a player, but as a person who gave everything for the badge. Diogo Jota will be remembered not just for his goals, but for the joy and heart he brought to the game. Though he's no longer with us, his legacy will live on every time a ball hits the back of the net at Anfield.